In the summer of 1973, the air was thick with the promise of freedom and adventure. For two gifted teenagers from Brooklyn, Mitchell Weiser and Bonnie Bickwit, that promise beckoned them to a historic concert. But what began as a journey to Summer Jam, a festival that would draw 600,000 music lovers, ended in a mystery. Mitchell and Bonnie vanished without a trace, leaving behind shattered families and a trail of unanswered questions. Mitchell Fred Weiser, born on November 23, 1956, was a bright and talented young man. His love for the Grateful Dead was so profound that he named his dog Casey Jones after one of their songs. Bonita Bonnie Mara Bickwit, born on January 28, 1958, was equally remarkable, sweet, and free-spirited. She met Mitchell at John Dewey High School, a haven for gifted students in Brooklyn, where their shared intelligence drew them together. By the summer of 1973, they had been dating for a year, their bond a quiet anchor in their bustling teenage lives. That summer, Mitchell was interning at a photography studio on Coney Island, honing his craft amid the salty breeze. Bonnie, meanwhile, was working as a babysitter at Camp Well-Met in Narrowsburg, New York, a job that was wearing her thin. As July unfurled, the buzz of Summer Jam grew louder, an outdoor rock festival set for July 28th in Watkins Glen. Mitchell had planned to go with his friend Larry, but when Larry's mother forbade, Mitchell turned to Bonnie. For Bonnie, the concert was a chance to break free. She asked her employers for the weekend off, but they refused. Fed up, she quit, slipping home to Brooklyn while her family vacationed on Cape Cod. She took $80 she'd saved for a bicycle and left a letter hinting at her plans, dreams of freedom with Mitchell. On July 26th, Mitchell, with $25 in his pocket, took a bus to Camp Well-Met. They spent the night there, and the next morning, a camp employee drove them into Narrowsburg. With sleeping bags slung over their shoulders and a cardboard sign reading Watkins Glen, they were ready to hitchhike. In the early 1970s, hitchhiking was woven into the fabric of youth culture, a rite of passage for free spirits. Mitchell and Bonnie, standing roadside with hope in their eyes, embodied that era's restless optimism. But that moment, bathed in the late July sun, was the last time anyone saw them. When Mitchell didn't return home after the concert, panic gripped his family. His father, Sidney, and sister Susan drove to Camp Well-Met, only to find no trace of him or Bonnie. Bonnie's family, back from Cape Cod, got a call from the camp reporting her absence. Both families alerted the police, their pleas urgent and raw. Yet the authorities shrugged them off. Camp staff mentioned an exchange of rings, suggesting an engagement, and the police assumed they'd elope. It didn't seem like the detectives were taking it seriously, Bonnie's friend Michelle later said. Sidney was promised that the NYPD would alert other departments statewide, but he later learned it was a hollow assurance. Valuable time was lost, wrote Martin Hollander, a Wall Street Journal editor, noting Sidney's mistreatment by officers. Rebuffed by the system, the Weiser and Bickwit families fought back with their own crusade. They sent letters to newspapers, pleas to police nationwide, and thousands of flyers bearing Mitchell and Bonnie's faces. Their hope was fierce, but the silence that followed was deafening. Years crept by, and whispers of leads emerged only to dissolve under scrutiny. Sightings on a bus to Dover, New Hampshire, and a pharmacist claim of filling Bonnie's prescription proved baseless. In 1987, Sidney answered a collect call from someone claiming to be Bonnie, but the line went dead. In 2001, a Maryland inmate confessed to their murder, but his story unraveled without credible detail. A glimmer of promise flickered in 2000, when Alan Smith told detectives he'd hitchhiked with a couple resembling them. He described an orange Volkswagen bus, a stranger at the wheel, and a stop at the Susquehanna River. There, he said, The girl screamed, swept away by the current, and her boyfriend leapt in after her. Investigators leaned in, desperate for a break, but doubts piled up. No bodies surfaced in the river then or since, and Smith could pinpoint the spot. That orange bus lingered in their minds. Robert Garrow, a serial killer, drove a similar vehicle in 1973. Killed in 1978 after escaping prison, he never confessed to harming Mitchell or Bonnie. Smith's tale, chilling as it was, leaned more toward accident than murder, and it too faded into the case. Long shadow. Properties in Watkins Glen and Bath were searched in later years, but yielded nothing. The original case files, even the teenagers' dental records, slipped into oblivion, lost to time or neglect. Both sets of parents passed away, their questions unanswered, though Mitchell's family kept their number listed. It's like a wound that never heals, Susan Weiser says, her words a quiet echo of decades of grief. The disappearance of Mitchell Weiser and Bonnie Bickwit remains the oldest unsolved missing teenagers case in the U.S. Many believe foul play swallowed them after they left Narrowsburg, but no proof has surfaced to anchor any theory. Their families dwindled but remain determined to seek closure. If you hold a scrap of insight, information, or photos from that 1973 summer jam, reach out. In the haze of a half-century, their story waits unfinished for its final note.